Welcome to the June 2021 Powerapps Community Call. I'm Todd Baginski, and as usual, I'm hanging out with my buddy Charles Sterling here today to bring you another fun month of Powerapps goodness. And so if you haven't joined us before, we do this on the third Wednesday of every month, 8 a.m. Pacific time. In this call, we always like to bring you the latest news and community contributions on what's going on with Powerapps. We also meet the teams who build Powerapps, as well as the folks at Microsoft who teach people how to implement them properly. So it gives us all a great chance to really learn from each other and how to build great Powerapps. We do technical deep dives each month where we have people come on the show, show us the cool things they're working on. And then we also have Q&A throughout the whole session that you'll find in the chat. So, a little bit about the folks that bring this call to you. That's me on the right, Todd Baginski. I'm partner and CTO at Canviz, where I work on all things to do with Office 365, Powerapps, and whole tons and tons of Azure lately as well. Charles Sterling is at Microsoft, and Chuck does all kinds of awesome things basically to help everyone in the Powerapps community get to know each other and find out what we're all doing. Chuck is the hub of all of it. So big hand for him to help us all get to know each other and share that info. We also have Dana and Andrew and Heather and Gabriel behind the scenes doing things every month to help edit this call, promote this call, and get it out to the folks who are watching it recorded, which turns out to be even more than watch it live every month. So thanks to everybody here every month who puts in some time to make this happen. We'd also like to say thanks to all these awesome folks, as well as even more. And I think I need to update this slide to put more smiling faces on it, because in our chat every month, we have Power Addicts, MVPs, Power Addicts champions. If someone is good or recognized at Powerapps, there's a good chance they're in this call and answering questions right now. So if you have a question, feel free to ask, and you'll get probably more responses than you imagine you could get. We're all here to help each other out and unblock each other. So thanks for these folks who are always a part of that. And that brings us to today's call. So I would like to welcome Krishna, Terho, and May to the call. And we have got another around the world call today. Krishna comes at us from North Carolina in the USA. Terho is coming at us from Finland, and May from Saudi Arabia. So we have our first Finland and Saudi Arabia on the call today here. So truly a global call and a lot of fun. We're going to learn from Krishna about the Center of Excellence in Dataverse for Teams and how that plays into the Power Platform. So kind of like an ALM governance type topic. And I'm sure Krishna will show us a lot more than just those two things too. Then we're going to have a little bit of a custom dev kind of thing today. And that's where Terho is going to show us how he built a really cool Power App that builds a Gantt chart out of the data stored in Microsoft Planner. And so I'm really keen to see this one too, because I've worked on a Gantt chart in Powerapps as well, and I can't wait to see how you did it. After that, May brings some fun to the end of our call today with a game that she created of a digital escape room. And my son actually heard about this. So I'm going to run and get him during that part because he said he wants to see this part of the call here today. We'll wrap up as usual with what's going on in the community and the latest news. Okay, so Krishna, thank you for joining us today. I'll let you get the party started, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you've done with COE and Dataverse.
Thank you, Todd. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the part of the world you are coming from. Today, I'm here to share my experience while I'm using Center of Excellence tool with Dataverse for Teams. Hope you all know that early April, Microsoft had released a new version of a Center of Excellence tool, which runs on top of Dataverse for Teams. Before we go into the topic, who is Krishna? Those who don't know me, I'm Krishna. I have 16 years of experience. I'm a business applications MVP, Power Apps community super user level 3, and proven Power Platform solution architect. I've contributed more than 280 plus solutions. I delivered 45 plus sessions on Power Platform and Office 365 areas. Last but not least, I'm a local user and global speaker. I'm recently started my own YouTube channel to share my knowledge and share my experience with all the challenges what I have experienced while implementing solutions in Power Platform. Okay, what is COE Starter Kit and why should I care about it? So COE is Center of Excellence as it states. It is a centralized location to monitor what is happening in my Power Platform. How many environments are created, how many apps were created, how many users were added newly, and who are all the maximum contributors, how many flows were created, which app is mostly used. Each and every artifact I will come to know at one place, which is nothing but Center of Excellence. Also, these days, we know that Dataverse for Teams environments are very challenging when you enable at the tenant level. Anybody can spin a new Dataverse for Teams environment. How to manage, how many Dataverse for Teams environments got created, where are they, who are the owners, each and every artifact we will come to know very clearly. So coming to the prerequisites, if you want to configure, my suggestion and Microsoft PowerCat suggestion is also create a dedicated account with no password expert. The reason is why it has to be a dedicated account is when you use your individual account and user leaves the organization, all the services and connectors will go down and it doesn't work at all. So always use a dedicated account, probably a service account, and ensure that the password never expires. Next one is per user license for this dedicated account. I hold on this point. Why do we need per user account? Though I'm configuring onto Dataverse for Teams. We all know that Dataverse for Teams is absolutely a free environment, standard connector. So why do I need it? I'll cover that. So last but not least, a dedicated Teams environment and Power BI license for this dedicated account, because Power BI license is needed to refresh and enable the various options which require to ensure meticulous data we are showing as part of that. These are the 4 requirements to create or configure COE. Coming to the next one, these are the 5 components. Those COE comes with 7 components. Dataverse for Teams supports these 5 components: core components, Power BI dashboard, governance component, innovation backlog, and nurturing components. If we see a high level, core components is the one we have to be installed in the beginning because that is the heart. Okay, and the rest comes as follows. These are the apps which I like most when I configure the Center of Excellence on top of Dataverse. The first one is Dlp Editor. We know that data loss prevention policy, policies we can create on top of Dataverse, on top of Power Platform. But it is always a challenge to go all the way to admin portal, navigate all the various stages to create or update a DLP policy. But if you configure Center of Excellence, it will be a few clicks away because you can configure or you can update a DLP policy from Microsoft Teams directly. The biggest advantage is when you use Dataverse for Teams, all the components like nurturing, innovation, and governance components are absolutely free. Why I'm saying absolutely free? Earlier in the classic COE, when you configure, you will have to have Dataverse license, especially when you want to expose the innovation and nurturing components to entire organization. What happens is you'll have to have whoever want to submit their idea or submit their solution with the help of nurturing component, they have to have Dataverse license. But now when you come onto the Dataverse for Teams, it is absolutely a standard connector and you can use absolutely for free. And next one is Maker Assessment app is one which always gives a very highest advantage when we are nurturing the citizen developers in the organization, because we all know Power Platform is a low code, no code solution when we are educating the users with this platform, we always have to have a standards that whether that user is reaching up to that level or not. It always gives a free hand when using Maker assessment app. Last but not least, my favorite is orphan flows and apps, because we have 100K users and everybody started creating app. For so many reasons, user lost a license or user left the organization, all the apps will become orphan apps. All the flows will become orphan flows. It is not at all easy to understand what are all the apps or flows which don't have owner associated at my platform. Using this app, I know at a glance that what are all my orphan flows or apps and whom I want to assign. I can assign in just 2 to 3 clicks. That is how I can manage all my artifacts at platform level. Coming to the flows, the critical flows or welcome email flow. Why I take it as a critical is when you create an app for the first time, the COE tool will send out a welcome note with all various links like as this, say like, hey, welcome to the platform. These are all the useful documentation for you to go ahead and leverage to ensure that your app is up to the standards. And if you need any help, these are all the platforms where you can get the help to expedite your app up to the mark. So that's the reason I take that as a priority. And the next comes teams governance flows and team welcome notification and business justification. Teams governance flow is the one which ensures that my team's Dataverse for Teams environment has a proper justification for each and every environment user creates. And team welcome notification and business justification flow will ensure that as and when user creates, it sends a welcome email stating that welcome to Microsoft Dataverse for Teams. This is the environment. Also, it sends another email notification on the Teams asking you to provide the justification. What happens if user doesn't provide the justification for a long time? That is when the Teams governance flow come into the picture. Teams governance flow works in 2 stages. So number 1 is it looks for a justification as soon as the Teams environment got created within 7 days. If the user provide justification within 7 days, well and good. If not, governance flow will delete that environment without any second thought. Second stage is though the Dataverse for Teams environment provided with justification if there are no artifacts created like apps flows under that Dataverse for Teams environment, even that time also this governance flow will delete that Dataverse for Teams environment, which gives a lot of pleasant mind for the administrator who is managing the platform, because today anyone can spin Dataverse for Teams for no reason. So that is how we can manage the Dataverse for Teams environment on the platform. Next one is capacity alerts email flow is added newly early April. What it does is it sends an email to administrators stating that so-and-so environment is running out of the space or it is already up to the space provided to that. Compliance details request flow is the one which shows whether all the apps are up to the compliance or not up to the. It sends email to user for all their apps, whether it is a critical or a. Let's go and see few elements which I have explained as part of this flow. Before that, how it will look like is when you configure COE on Dataverse for Teams, it will show a BI report with all various tiles where it shows you what are all my apps running under the environment and everything. When I click on overview Power App, it takes me to the respective page and it shows you how many apps were created, how many environments are there, and who are all the owners, app makers, and everything. Each and every tile will take you a respective page in Power BI report. And next one is when you configure the COE in Dataverse for Teams, how it looks like is, it will show you all the components, what you have installed as the components at the Dataverse for Teams environment. So when you see in Powerapps, this is the app where I was advising that Maker assessment app. If user Maker has a question, they can submit a question. When they submit a question, they can provide all their justification and everything here. Once they save the question, it will be open question for all the users where they can anybody can add answers under that. My favorite app is this Developer Complaint Center app, where it shows you each and every app at the platform level. What are all my Canvas app? What are all my model driven apps? SharePoint, Forms app, Flows, Chatbot, and custom connectors. Each and everything what I have at my app, at my platform. If user want to know what it is, they can click on that and they will come to know what is that app is all about if the Maker provides a description of the app. And next one is Dlp Editor. As I was saying, I can create a new policy, or I can update a policy as part of the Dlp editor. By clicking on this, I will come to know what is this Dlp policy and what are all there. Now, if I want to update a policy and say like I wanted to move to blocked, when I click on blocked and say next, 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 it shows you if there are any apps or flows which are getting impacted with this policy. And once I update policy, it will update the policy. Teams is dragging a lot, so I was not sure in Teams. What are all the flows I have? Who are all the owners and orphan flows? This is where I will be able to see if there are any orphan flows, orphaned owners on my tenant. Ideally, if there are any orphan flows, this is the place I can see all the orphan flows at that platform level. And if I want to change the permission of any of the flow or app, I can change. This is the app permissions. All these apps are under core components. So if user want to just change the ownership of this, select that, add permissions. I can just say select the user and say select and what level of permission I want to give to that user. I can say that viewer, editor, or owner. Remember, I can even transfer the ownership of the app from one user to another user right from my app Teams environment level itself. I don't have to go back to that and just do each and everything again, each and every step by navigating to entire screen. So when I say editor, save, it will add one more user as part of this app. There you go. And say, if I just select the app, it really shows that who is the owner and who is the who are all it's shared with. That is how I can manage very easily how across my apps. And the next one is app assessment tool. Before I go into app assessment tool, I wanted to show you one more thing, innovation backlog. Innovation backlog is one app where it gives the free hand to users to submit their ideas. If they have any bottleneck issues or any of the challenges they have under their project or their vertical, they can come here and just say add idea. They can submit all the details, including the complexity score. It will show you what it is. And once they submit, they will be able to again provide the same assessment, app assessment here, and state that use case is this, these are all the audience it is going to be, and what is the data I'm going to use as part of that, what is the complexity level, and what is the support they're expecting. What happens is when you enable that at this level, it will reach the maximum number of audience at the platform level or the organization level. And if anybody has any solution for that requirement, they can share it easily without any second thought. So user will get a better support on their requirement. So the next one is when the Dataverse for Teams governance. As I said, these are the two flows very critical when it comes under the Dataverse for Teams environment, Dataverse for Teams management. This is the flow which sends the adaptive code where it is asking the business justification as in when a new Dataverse for Teams environment got created. Will it send immediately? No, there is a timer or a recurring job, a recurring flow where it looks for all the new environments created at the platform level on the next day, and it then sends the email and also business justification at the platform level. So that is when user will get that. It doesn't send immediately, it sends on the next day. And this is the flow which takes care of the business justification and various Teams environment created at the platform level. If you see here, they're clearly looking for 90 days and 7 days. 7 days is to look for the justification. When a business justification is not provided, it is 7 days. And if the business justification is provided and there are no artifacts, they have mentioned 90 days. Always, we can anytime update as per the organization standards here and save that. It will take care of the job. These are all the various artifacts we get absolutely for free. And as we know, any application we create, there will be advantages and limitations. In this scenario, the advantages are all the apps under innovation backlog or nurturing components is 100% free. And sharing the app across the organization is easy. Editing DLP policy, I can do it at the Teams level rather than going into my environment all the way. Coming to the limitations, and another advantage is they have a Microsoft team had created a GitHub link where they can post the questions. If they have any issues, challenges while doing this, they can get it there. They can go there and do that, and they can download from there. They're maintaining all the questions and solutions very clearly. Big hats off to the PowerCat team for answering all the questions. Icon must have power user license. The reason is all the flows have been configured with the pagination threshold as 100K. That is the only reason you have to have power, per app license. If you want to avoid that, you free flow and change the threshold limit, which is not recommended. If you want to avoid that, you can for Dataverse for Teams because it requires API calls and other things. It is audit log is not available. Theming and ALM is also not available because theming look for API calls to ensure because it is using a PCF control in theming. ALM is also the same. It requires API calls. So I'm sure very soon they will ensure these two elements also as part of the Dataverse for Teams environment. Last but not least, environment variables can only be updated from flow. What does that mean is earlier, if user want to update the environment variables, they can update at the environment itself by going on to the solutions. Under this solutions, there is something called default solution. For some reason, there is a change at the platform level. We don't see default solution anymore. How I can do that is go to the flow. From flow, I can go on to the environments. Under environments, I have to add the existing environment variables by clicking on existing environment variables, select the environment variable, existing environment variable, and just add it. And then when I say add it, it is already there, so what it is not letting me. So ideally, when you go here, approval admin, from here, only once you add it, I can update that. Earlier, it was there as a default solution. Due to some update, I got an update from Manila, who is the primary contact for this COE toolkit. She clearly mentioned that it is no longer there at the platform level. So you will have to use the default solution underflow. This is the thread. If somebody wanted to address the same issue, what you are addressing, what you are experiencing, it is no longer there. And these are all the steps we have to follow as per the advice from PowerCat team. And that's all about it. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. This is my contact information, and that is my YouTube channel. I have explained how to configure the COE in Dataverse for Teams step by step on my channel. If somebody is interested to learn, I have that on my channel. Thank you for the opportunity, Todd, and thank you for the opportunity, Charles.
Thank you for walking us through it. There's so much goodness available in there. Lots of applause. And you know what? There are a lot of questions for you in chat. I was about to start unmuting and asking you, but I knew how much you had to get through. So I would say check out the chat. You've probably got a dozen or so questions coming your way. Great job. I can tell you've installed and know that thing inside and out.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll address all the questions. I'll go through the questions. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you too. Okay, so next up, this is a fun story to welcome Terho to the call, because this is a true how community works, how Terho is here today. It was, I don't know, what, 2 weekends ago or something, Matthew Devaney tagged something you did and told me about it on Twitter, and I looked and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And then I was like, hey, you want to come show it on the call? And here you are, right? So it just goes to show you, like, at any time, any moment, we can have something fun on the call. So I will let you take it from here and introduce your cool topic to us.
Thanks. Really excited to be here. Let me share my screen. And thanks, Krishna, for your presentation. It's very interesting and important stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So next 15 minutes, we're going to talk about the planner Gantt chart I implemented with Powerapps. First, let me talk a little bit about myself. Most of you don't know me. My name is Terho Antila. I'm from Finland, working on a small consultants company called Cloud-Driven, based in Helsinki. I'm one of the organizers of and regular speakers at a Powerapp meetup, which is a local Power Platform user group in Finland. I have a blog at terhoantila.com where I try to do posting often. There's my Twitter handle and LinkedIn profile, and that's where you can reach me easily. And I do have a developer background, so I started like 20 years ago with C++, moved on to C#, JavaScript, and now finally got into PowerFX with Power Platform, which is totally awesome. Okay, then Planner Gantt chart. So I published this around a month ago. It's implemented as a Powerapps Canvas app. It only uses Office 365 users and Planner connectors. So you don't need any premium features, and regular M365 license is enough to install it and share it and start using it. You can use it to view multiple planner plans on the same Gantt chart view, but you can also provide a URL parameter to it, so you can stick to one plan and it's opened by default. So that's really handy if you want to embed the app as a Teams tab, for example. Then you can provide the URL parameter, and the team sees always the one specific plan as a Gantt chart. And of course, you can download your own version of it. So I have a GitHub repo. I'm sure the links will be provided along with the slides. So there you can download the Powerapp package and install it and share it to your colleagues and start using it. You can edit it, make some modifications, any modification, whatever. It's all yours. And I will be publishing implementation details about the app bit by bit in my blog post. So to keep updated, please subscribe to notifications. Then some notes / lessons learned during the implementation. First of all, I must say that Power Platform truly is powerful. It's I estimate it took like 50 hours about to implement the app, and I don't think that's a whole lot at all. So you can really create awesome stuff with Power Platform. Then one notion about the planner connector, it's a little bit limited. For example, you can't filter out old or completed tasks when you are requesting tasks from a plan. You always get all of them, and then you have to combine and do the filtering on the client side. And final note about the experimental feature in Powerapps Studio called Enhanced Performance for Hidden Controls. It really makes a difference from the UI performance point of view. Use that. Let's hope it gets GA'd at some point in the future. And before going to the demo, let's take a look at the backlog or roadmap of the features that I am planning to implement in the near future. So I would like to enable task dependencies. In Gantt charts, you usually have a task that might be dependent on some parent task. So I want to enable that. Not sure how it can be done yet, but that would be something really valuable for the app. And thanks, Thomas, for the idea. Also, some additional fields I would like to display on the chart per task. There are plenty of fields in the planner that are not yet visible on the chart. And also, I would like to enable the user to postpone a task easily on the Gantt chart. So you could click on a date on the right of the task, and then that task automatically gets rescheduled for that date. So that would be like, at least in my daily work, I often have to do that, postpone tasks forward. So I'm sure others do too. Okay, but without further ado, let's take a look at the Gantt chart app then. So here is the front page of the app. It displays all the plans in Microsoft Planner you have access to. So I have here roughly like 10, 11 plans visible, and I can choose multiple plans if I want to. For example, do like this. When I try to choose the fifth one, it tells me that only 4 simultaneously selected plans are supported. So let's remove a couple and leave community engagement plan and my tasks. So let's view those on the Gantt chart, clicking there. And now the app fetches both plans and their tasks and creates this cool looking Gantt chart out of them. And so the selected plans are visible here on the top, and they are color coded. So for example, my tasks plan is color coded blue, and I can then recognize all the tasks belonging to that specific plan because the border of those tasks is blue. And for general tasks, it's red and so forth. And I can open a specific plan by clicking on the open plan icon next to the plan name. So let's click it. And the plan in Planner opens up in another tab. There I can, of course, make modifications as normally. So I'll close this. OK, let's take a step back and remove a couple of plans and only play with the community engagement plan. So I can just click on that label to view only that one plan. OK, so what you see on the top right-hand corner is the number of tasks currently visible on the chart. And then you see the month range that is used, and that's defaulted to the previous month and 3 upcoming months. So I have May, June, July, August, September selected, and current year, of course. But I can make this more narrow, click on the July. So now I have May, June, and July selected, and the chart gets updated automatically. I can also drill into one specific month if I want to by clicking on the month header here. So let's take a look at the June, like that. So now I only have 1 month visible here on the Gantt chart. And as you can see, I am on vacation right now. Is there a better way to spend a vacation? Nope, there is not. So let's reset month selection from there. And now I'm back to the 5 months range. Let's have it like that. All right, so on the Gantt chart, each task has its own row. So there's 1 task per row, and these tasks are ordered by the due date. And this whole gallery element can be scrolled down. And on the left-hand side, for each task, you can see the bucket the task belongs to. And all the way to the right-hand side, you can see the categories that are, or labels, how you call them, that are tagged for the task. For example, the second task called Planner Gantt chart, I have labeled it blog and demo. So it has 2 labels. So they are displayed here on the right. And on the actual task bar, you can see the due date, which is the lower right-hand corner date. And then you can see the start date, which is the upper left-hand side date. You can apply also some filtering. For example, I can filter out completed tasks. Completed tasks are actually filled with light gray color. So if you take a look at those, and I will exclude them from the view, and now they're gone. All right, I can also filter by bucket if I want to, or use the category filter. But what if I want to take a closer look at a specific task? Well, that I have to do in Microsoft Planner. So I can click on any tasks, open task icon here, and again, Planner is opened on another tab, and the specific task is displayed. So here I can make any modifications if I want to. Okay, so what about creating a new task? So this last line here at the Gantt chart, you can actually hover over the dates, and if you pause your mouse, you can see the tooltip that add task starting on Monday, July 5th. So if I click on that, I'm presented with the dialog that allows me to create a new task in Planner. So I can select the plan. Well, now I only have 1 plan selected in the home screen, so that's pre-selected and I can't change it. But if I had more, then I could choose which plan I want to create the task into. The start date is the date I clicked, and the due date is 10 days from that. I can choose the bucket if I want to, and then, of course, the title. And the coolest thing, of course, is that you can add an emoji to it. So let's do that and click Save. Now the view refreshes, and we have that task created here. You can also view assignees of the task by clicking this little arrow here. So this task is assigned to 3 persons. And I'm one of them, and then my admin account is one of them, and my guest account is one of them. So that's an easy way to view assignees. Or I can display all assignees on the Gantt chart. I won't go into the implementation details due to time restrictions, but I can quickly show the thing how this actual Gantt chart is built behind the scenes. So basically, I have two galleries. One of them is to display the tasks. So let's hide that. You can see the difference. All the tasks are displayed in this one vertical gallery, and then I have the vertical lanes in one gallery, and which produce these vertical date slots. And then I have to calculate date width and stuff like that. But I will create a blog post about that, so you can dig into that later. I think my 15 minutes is up. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. I'm happy to answer.
That's super clever. I was wondering how you did the background there until you showed the two different galleries. Very neat.
Yeah.
I was wondering how you built it too, because the Gantt chart that we built with SVG, but you were able to build it with the out-of-the-box components inside of Powerapps. I'm curious, with the approach you have here of the couple galleries, how many items have you tried to run the Power App to pull back before?
Well, I wanted to test that out, and I created a plan where I generated like 200 tasks, and I tried with that, and it worked well.
That seems really reasonable. Yeah. If you've got more than that, you probably need to split your plan up a little bit.
Yeah. But without that one feature that's experimental still, then it's sluggish. So you really need that feature because there are hundreds of hidden elements on the Gantt chart.
Yeah. Wow, there's a lot of great comments there in chat. I don't know if you've seen them too, but everybody really likes your app there. That's awesome. Thanks for taking the time to show it to us today.
Hey, thanks for allowing me.
Yeah, anytime. If you soup it up with some of those things you were talking about, bring it back sometime. And everybody, so you know, this app is one of the apps that's entered in the Demo Extravaganza contest. So if you'd like to see a deeper dive on it, maybe some of the code behind the scenes or things like that, go and check it out and cast your vote there. And maybe it'll be back next month. Awesome. Thanks again. That's great. Cool. Doing great on time here today. So I will take it back here real shortly to introduce May. And there we go. Okay, so May is joining us today to create a digital escape room with Powerapps. And every single thing I've seen May post online on Twitter or something has crazy cool graphics associated with it. So I'm sure that is going to be the case again here today. May, thanks for joining us. I can't wait to see your app here.
Thank you. So let me share my screen.
Super. And you also win the coolest headphones ever on the community call, no doubt about it.
Actually, I can change the colors based on whatever I have. Like I have a blue Power Automate, I have Powerapps. Still, maybe I don't have Power BI. Maybe there is a new version of it. So yeah, hopefully I can have this color.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. So let me start sharing my screen. So hello everyone, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here with you all. So let me start by introducing myself. My name is Alhajri. I'm from Saudi Arabia. I'm based in the Middle East. Actually, I'm working as a digital analyst within a Schlumberger company, and I'm power addict. I'm doing a lot of things on my social media. So also you can follow me. If you like to check all my posts, you can check my Twitter account, LinkedIn. Even I'm posting a lot of things on YouTube. Also, I have a sharing is caring group within Meetup, so I can drop now the link on the chat. You feel free to follow me. You can check now the link on the chat. Okay, so also you can call me Agent 008. So if you want to know the story, go and check my Twitter. There is a story behind this name, Agent 008. So why I'm here today, actually, because we will learn new things. And For me, I really like to play to build things easy and fun at the same time. So what we will learn today, I will show you what's digital escape room and also how we create any digital escape room. Can we use the Powerapps to build any digital escape room? Also, I will do with you a live demo. So, for sure, most of the people, they went to the escape room, the actual escape room. And you know the story behind it, actually? They put you in a specific room and there is a specific scenario, like how you will be able to lock the door. So there is a specific scenario, there is a specific clues that you need to lock it. Similar way, we will do the same thing, but digital way. It means that we will have an application, we will have a specific story. Based on our story, we will be able to open the door. Okay, the question is here, how we can build any digital escape room, how we can build any fun digital escape room, what kind of tips that we need to follow. So I will share with you the tips that I followed to build my digital escape room, and it's really easy to use. First, you need to write your story. So what do we mean by writing your story? It means what kind of room do you want to have in your application? For example, here while we are doing the live demo, you will see what's my story behind this room. So most of the people, they like to have different rooms within the digital escape room, actually. So for example, you can have Power BI, and in our scenario, let's assume that we want to build a digital escape room for Power Platform. So you can build only one door, like for Powerapps, or several doors, like several scenarios. So you need to write your story first. Second things, actually, you need to write your rules. It means what kind of things or questions you need to add it to your application or your digital escape room to the end user. So based on this question or clues, they will be able to open the door. Number 4, create your images. You need to build your room either by using a free background that we have it on website, or if you are creative enough, so you can build your own room by using any animation tool. So for me here, actually, I built my animations by using another tool. So maybe you can look at it, or I can arrange a specific session about it, how we can build animation things. Also, how we can create the looks and build your application. So to build the application, it's something really easy. As I mentioned, for me, I really like to build something really in easiest way, plus to make it with the fun way. So now it's the time to build the app together and show you how I build it actually. So let me share now my application. Okay. So here, as we see, I will first run the digital escape room, then I will show you the step that I followed to build it. So let's try now to do something fun. Actually, for any application that I'm building, I prefer to put like a video as a loader, like similar to the PlayStation or something. So for me, any application that I'm building, I'm adding a short video there. I will guide you later on how we can add this one. So let's start with the first part. So here, first step, as I mentioned, we need to write our story. My story here, actually, it's about how we let the audience or the end user know about Power Platform tools as a beginner. So how they can see the difference between each tool that we have it. So the purpose of digital escape room that we have it here, it's to share the awareness about what's the different tools that we can use it by using Power Platform. Okay, first, I need to get their attention. So to get any person attention, you need to make sure that you are talking to them, even if it's just a text. So what I mentioned here, this is my story. I'm in my office. So I mentioned to the person that was playing the game that thank you to find me, and I'm stuck in this place. I need you to go out from this place. So the door is locked. Now the end user will get their attention. They will click here, tap to start. It means there is another part of my story. So when they click tap to start, another part of my story, here I'm explaining or introducing who I am within this digital escape room. Maybe in your scenario, we'll use another one. Maybe you can make it as a business scenario. Okay, so here what I'm mentioning to the user, I forget to introduce myself. My name is Agent 008, and I'm in my office, and actually I was working on organizing my stuff, and everybody is gone. So third part of my story, I need to explain to them what they need to do to lock the door, to unlock the door. So how I can explain to them in easiest way. So here I mentioned to them how they will be able to play, or the main concept of my game. So here what I'm mentioning, in order to escape this room, you need to help me to automate my task. As I mentioned, my story, it's based on the awareness to see the people, to see the difference between our platform that we have it. So here what I'm mentioning to them, like, you need to automate my task as much as we can by assigning the correct tool that we have it from Power Platform. And we have 4 clues on this digital escape room. So maybe you can mention it. If you don't want to mention it, it's up to you at the end how you want to give the hint to the user. So when they click tap to continue here, this is the main thing of our digital escape room. Here I'm adding like 5 pages on my app because it's only one room and it's really short. That's why I feel free to add a text and label. Maybe in your scenario, you just need the main concept and you can put a timer and move the labels there. So here we go. For example, if you look at the mouse, actually, if the user is smart enough, they will see, like, if they click here, the mouse will change. It means there is something here. Otherwise, maybe we can add like a hint for each clues that we have it here. So for example, if I click here, a pop-up message will show me like, I need to analyze all my stored data into one dashboard. Which tool should I use here? So the user is supposed to go here and answer the question by typing the name of the tool. Here it's Power BI. The magic actually will happen here. So if they click here, they will be able to see if the correct answer or wrong. Okay, so if it's correct, by default it's correct, and we can close it from here, and we will be able to see this icon. It means he already solved the first one. Second one, if I look to this one, as we have 4, let me solve it and I will show you how we did it. Second one, which tool I can use to build an app that helped me to add all my requests from the clients here. So for sure it's Powerapps. Let me type it like in a wrong way. Let's see what will happen. So I didn't put any space because the new name of Powerapps, there is a space, so wrong answer. So there is a way to see to let the user know if there is a wrong answer or it's a correct answer. So let me put a space here and click here, it's correct. Okay. So I have 2 more because I know the game, so I know where is the clues. Actually, we have it here. So if I click here, build time-saving workflow. So here it's supposed to be Power Automate. And one more thing here I need to mention. Actually here you can add a timer. So most of the digital or most of the actual escape room, they have a timer like for 60 minutes. So here, if you want, like here, because we have 4 clues and it's easy, so I don't need the timer. Maybe in your scenario you want to build a big room with a lot of clues, a lot of scenarios, so you can add a timer to make it more attractive actually. Last one, which is here, create and manage powerful chatbot that will help to resolve the common issues. So for sure it's Power Virtual Agents. Correct. And now I get another pop-up message with this image that we escaped the room and we are okay. So congratulations. So with this one, this is our digital escape room. It's really easy to use. Now I will show you how I built it. Actually, it took for me like less than 30 minutes to build this one. It's really easy because my scenario here, it's really simple. So I don't have a lot of clues. I don't have a lot of scenarios. So let me show you how I built it. I would like to ask you one question. Do you think that I'm using any data source here, like a SharePoint or any Excel or anything? So if you are thinking that I'm using any specific data source, just type it on the chat. I will look at it. I will give you a few seconds to see. And if you are answering correct what kind of data source that I'm using here, I will give you a gift, which is Agent 008 shirt. So just type what kind of data source that I'm using here before I explain what kind of things that I'm using within this digital escape room. Okay. None. Okay. So we have 2 color. So the winner is, because he is the first person who answered the question, is, wait, because we have now, who is the first person who answered collection? Let me just save his name. Ju, I think. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So just contact me. I will send you the gift. Okay, so the data source or the type of thing that I'm using here to collect my data, it's collection. So let us see how we build this up. So first, let me reset the game so I will be able to explain to you everything. Here we go. So as I mentioned here, let me make it bigger so I can explain it to you. So as we see here, actually, the main digital escape room it's with one page actually, right? And the user, when they click on any task or anything, the mouse will change. It means I'm using a button. So if you look at here, the user, they will not be able to see anything from here, like Power BI, lock number 2, lock number 3. So what I'm using actually, I'm using a button, I'm using a label, I'm using also a pop-up message to collect the answer and save it on a collection. So let's see the first part. For example, here I have this one, right, which is the main part of my game that they need to go there and solve it. I put a label with the answer. Here, the answer is Powerapps. So it's just a label here, just with the answer. And while they are playing the game, it's disabled. They will not be able to see it. I'm using this label to make sure that while we are checking the answer, that we are looking to the correct answer. Okay? So the main things actually within this button, once they click on it, we are building a context variable. And once we click on it, actually here, the pop-up message, it will appear. And here, the pop-up message, it's lock number 1. Let me just try to click on it to see it. Okay, cool. So here we have this one. It's easy to build. Just I put like a rectangle and the frame. This frame, I built it by using a PowerPoint, so it's really easy to use. And I can arrange another session about the user interface. And here, as we have a few questions, it's not that much. So what I did basically, I just put a label for each question, and within the pop-up message and everything. So for example, here I have the first question, second question. Maybe in your room, if you have a lot of a question, I really suggest for you to use not collection, like you can use SharePoint. It depends on your scenario. That's why I'm using here a collection. It's much easier. And here I put text input, which is the user, they will be able to enter their answer. And once they enter their answer, they need to click on this icon. And actually, here I have a specific code. Let me show it to you. So here, when they enter their answer, I'm checking the label that I have it here, which is this one, Powerapps. That's why I'm putting a label for each part or each log that I have it. So what I'm doing here, I'm checking the answer. If it's matching the same label that I have it, it means go and collect the answer and save it on my collection. I call it here like log number 1. For each question, I call it with a specific name. If not, do not save it because I don't need it. And then update another variable. Here, the second variable, actually, it's for the label or the text that we have, if it's correct or wrong. So let me try here. And the same concept I'm following for all the logs that I have it here. So here it's Powerapps. Here we go. So when the user is clicking here, 3 actions will happen. First, I'm checking the answer. If it's correct and matching the label that I added here, it will be saved on my collection. Second action, it will be saved on my collection. Third action here, it will show me this one, if it's correct or wrong. If it's correct, the pop-up message will show me, which is here. I call it like, you can call it whatever you want. Then, and let us check now the collection that we have it here. Here we go. For log number 2, there is nothing because I didn't store anything. And if I save it wrongly, it will not be stored there. I'm following the same concept for all the logs. So as simple as, and here we go. when they solve it, there is to make sure the user, they know they already solved it correctly, not by adding correct answer. To make it fun, you can add like the unlock icon or something. So here we go. Here, this one, there is I'm adding a function here for the under visible. I'll make this one visible if the log collection number 1 is not empty. It means there is a correct answer within this collection, so make it visible. That's why I'm only collect the correct answer, not the wrong answer. So then when they solve all these answers, actually I'm adding another pop-up message, which is the same one that I show it to you. And let me solve it correctly to show you, which is this one, the last one that they escaped the room. I'll show it to you now. Actually here, what you can do, you can add a hint for the end user. Like if you want to make sure like you need to write it's 5 letters or 2 words or whatever, you can make it easier to the user. It depends who is the end user for your game. So now I will show you the last part of our game. Okay, here we go. And this one, it's power automate. Okay. Why I'm collecting only the correct answer? Because for this image, actually, it will not show only if the user solved all the logs that we have it on our game. It means here, another one, or another function within the visible here, I call it, I'm checking all my collection. Here I have 4 collections because for each log I build a specific collection which is contain the correct answer. I'm checking here if the log number 1, 2, 3, 4 is not empty, it means they have the correct answer. Show me this pop-up message. And this is my escape room, as simple as, and it's really easy. As I mentioned, if you want to build bigger than this one, you can like put your questions with your answer within SharePoint. And based on this one, you can do the same concept by do a lookup on your question that you have it in your data source. So what else? I think I covered most of the things, that the main concept of the game. And if you have any question, just let me know and let me check. So thank you. I hope you like it and you can use it. I will upload the game on the Power Platform site, so you will be able to install it and play around with it. So thank you so much.
Fantastic, May. That's awesome. Such pretty graphics you have too. My son gives you the 2 thumbs up and said it's a really cool app as well. He enjoyed watching with me today. That is really neat. There are more than one question for you in chat, but I think the one question that popped out, we were all wondering, how did you get the cool emoji in your app name?
So actually for this one, I'm using a lot of tools and I can arrange a specific session, I promise. So how I build all my avatars. I share on my Twitter about my avatar that I'm adding on all my accounts. I can reshare it again. But for this digital escape room, I'm using another tool. I can share it also with you. I will put all the link here on my Twitter accounts.
Sounds great. Thank you. Okay, well, we're a little bit over our usual time to stop, so we'll move quickly through the rest of our slides here today. So thanks again to all of our presenters. You're all awesome. And here are some resources where you can follow up and learn more about Powerapps and these things as well. So you can see we've got the Gantt chart here down at the bottom, as well as just tons of other community resources. If you're new to Powerapps or even a vet, you'll learn something from one of these spots. The next thing is our recent news. Our recent news is basically the Demo Extravaganza is our biggest news, and we have a whole bunch of different Powerapps. So the Demo Extravaganza, here are the entries from the Demo Extravaganza right now. And as you can see, there's all kinds of fun things. Check this out. This one's a cat video game, how to feed your dragon. Rory's how he creates his courses app. I mean, one after another in here. I encourage you to come and check these out and vote on your top 5 favorite apps. There's a lot of really great things inside here. And there's the Gantt chart that Terho showed us just a little bit ago. So I'm going to put this link over here in the chat, and you can all head right over there and vote on your favorite ones. If you like an app, just click the thumbs up and give it a vote. Okay, so yeah, the voting for the Demo Extravaganza ends in 14 days. So get your votes in, and after 14 days, we'll count them up and then contact everybody, and then they'll be back on this call next month. Everyone showing off their goodness. Do we have April on the call here today? I think I saw her.
I am here.
April, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Cool. Yeah, so I just wanted to thank everyone that's contributed to the Power Platform samples repo that we have out there for May and a few people here in June. So Remy, Michael, Penn, Matthew Devaney, Fabio, Scott, and Kroon all have some great samples out there. So we have some flow templates that they submitted. We have Powerapps, custom functions, font samples, lots of great stuff. So if you have samples you want to share, whether it's components, custom functions, app templates, you can go to aka.ms/Power Platform samples, and we'll mention your samples on the next community call.
Awesome. And I see you contributed one this month too. Way to go.
Yeah, I did some of my Powerapps templates there.
Cool. Very cool. Glad you're here to share that with us again. Also, we'd like to give a little cheers to the Powerapps community. This is everybody who's shared something they're working on with the Powerapps CC hashtag this month. So thank you, everybody. And if you're ever looking for cool things to find on Twitter about Powerapps, just search for this hashtag, and I'm sure you'll find something that interests you. The Power Addicts have a monthly hangout as well, and I know that the last hangout actually happened just yesterday evening. And so this is another call much like this one, where people from around the world get together to talk about cool Power Apps and what they're doing with it. So I encourage you to check out this video as well. We also have a couple more as well. This one is called the Less Code, More Power series, and Donna and Sarah put this one on, and you will find that these are shorter videos than what we do here. We usually aim for about an hour in this call each month, and these videos go anywhere from about 5 to 15 minutes, I think. So if you're looking for shorter videos and more goodness about the Power Platform, you'll find it here. And then, April, you have a new call here as well. You and Geetha are seeing, I see you're doing your Powerful Devs video series. You want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so it's similar to what Donna and Sarah are doing on Let's Code More Power, but the audience here is more for those code-first integration stories with the Power Platform. So if you're all about PCF controls and APIs and all that stuff and integrating that with Power Platform, these are short, 12-minute episodes. We had Geetha on in the last one talking about APIM and integrating that in Power Automate and Power Apps and Dataverse for Teams. So definitely check that out. And if you're interested in being on the show, I have a short link there. You do that form and let me know if you have any cool scenarios you want to share.
Awesome. How long does that one usually last?
Those are about 10 to 15-minute episodes also. Okay,
gotcha. So little real short segments on very focused topics. Outstanding. So I imagine I could learn something about a custom connector on that one if you're doing dev things as well.
Yeah, definitely. We had Scott Dura on showing his drag and drop PCF control as well. So lots of great stuff.
All right, cool. A little bit of something for everybody. Okay, well, that brings us to the end of the call, but Chuck, you had a slide, so I'm going to back off that one for a sec and let you take it over there and share what was on your slide there. I believe you want to talk about a couple extra user groups this month too, huh?
Yeah, actually, let's cover off. We'll start with Rory's. So Rory actually runs this amazing effort called Powerapps for Kids. The link there is www.powerappsforkids.com, and they actually have sessions on Saturday and next Tuesday. So Rory, thank you actually, and Michelle and Elaine for actually doing all that incredible work that you're doing. One thing I definitely wanted to call out is the fact that PCF controls are now, and Powerapps components are now GA. So that's one of the biggest asks I've got is, hey, when can we actually go out and use the Powerapps components in my production applications? And actually it was last Thursday, last Friday. So that is great news. If you missed the blog post, please do check it out. Today, me and Heather are actually going to be going out joining Reza Durrani, and we're going to be talking about the new user group platform. That will be Heather Newman will be doing that, and I'm actually going to be talking about how to create custom functions that work in Powerapps. And yes, there's a little bit of secret sauce that you need to do to get your Azure functions working inside of Powerapps. So that was actually the recent new stuff.
Well, that brings us to the end then, everybody. So we'd like to say thanks again to everybody who took the time to present and share what they're working on with us today. If you would like to present on this call sometime, reach out to me and let me know, or reach out to Chuck. We would love to always have new folks sharing what they're working on here. Our next call will be on July 21st, 2021, 8 a.m. Pacific time. And if you want to see the recording of this call, you can find it on the Microsoft 365 Developer YouTube channel. Usually we get it posted out there in about a day or two. So thanks again, everybody, for joining us. I hope you have an awesome day.